All right, guys, so we are pulling up. I have to get all my personal belongings out of my sweetheart. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. I guess it's still in the shop. I guess it is still in the shop. So I have to go back here and get all my personal belongings out of the Chevy. Here comes the Chevy. Here comes the Chevy. Totally wrecked Chevy. So here she is. She is busted up. So the whole front end was done in right there. So slammed in the back of like a Tundra, and that was it. Once they tore it apart, they saw that it was just too much damage, so they totaled her out, man. Totaled her out. That really sucks. Ugh.
Don't touch mine.
All right, guys, so I just got all my stuff out of the Chevy. Shed a tear, man. I'm sad, dude. I'm sad. I love that truck, man. The truck's gone. It's gone. You just gotta learn to let go. Let it go. You gotta let go. Gotta let the stuff go. I'm gonna lose my brain sitting here. I'm waiting on something. So anyways, the Chevy's gone and it sucks. So like I said, I'm gonna have to find something. And we sat down last night and said, all right, it sucks. It just blows well that they totaled the truck, okay? Understand why. Ended up being $12,500 in damage. Dude. Oh my God. So anyway, it was just moving some stuff. I had somebody driving and I went ahead and there's this bad corner. We were out of town picking up some stuff and just went around this bad corner and just slammed into a truck they didn't see. Everybody was stopped and they were loaded up with stuff and just boom, nailed the back of this Tundra, messed it up and messed up the Chevy, obviously. And once they tore everything apart, everything, all the supports, you know, all over the front end are toast. It just sucks. Now I'm a Chevy guy and I've been looking for 2 days and it is not easy to find a Chevy, even a 1500, that is like less than 260,000 miles or something. It's just crazy, man. I see tons of F-150s. I see tons of Ram 1500s. But man, one thing that I'm having a hard time finding for the price range is a decent Chevy. And so I'm probably gonna have to buy either an F-150. Y'all can smack talk all you want. I'm a Chevy GMC man, or Toyota, you know, or I like Nissan Titans, man. Anyways, listen, I'm just not a Ford and Dodge guy, and that's okay. A lot of y'all are not Chevy people, but I may have to drive an F-150 or a Ram 1500. Look, there goes the truck. There goes the truck. I guess they're driving it. They're driving it to some lot. I don't know. So anyways, I may have to drive an F-150 or a Dodge because, I mean, I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying, you tell me what's up. I can find a ton of F-150s and Dodge Rams between like 5 and 7 grand, man, with 140,000 miles, 120, 160, you know, that are in pretty decent shape, you know, just as a drive around truck. But I cannot for the life of me find a Chevy or a GMC anywhere near that price range and anywhere near the mileage or condition that I can find an F-150 or a Dodge. And this is not a slam Dodge F-150 thing, all right? Yo, this is, you know, this is just, I gotta buy something else, and don't be shocked if you see me in like an F-150 or a Dodge. Let's move on to what I really wanted to talk about. My poor Chevy. And that is this year, man. 2018 was, I'm going to just say, the most challenging year I have experienced, man, and I think ever. I think from the day starting in this industry to right now, 2018 was the most educational in the positive and negative way, and the most challenging year I have ever seen. It has just been one thing after another this year between break-ins and got, employees, and it's just been a roller coaster, enough to make you pull your hair out and enough to make a lot of people just want to, hang the shop keys up and just be like, you can have it. But that's not how we succeed. We have to persevere, and it's not always sunshine, rainbows. It was a lot of challenges. There was a lot of good, made a lot of, new friends and acquaintances and all that stuff. But as far as the downside of it, the challenges were unreal. I don't want to have another year like this. It was very challenging, to say the least. And some of the stuff is going to carry over into 2019, but it is what it is. The positive side, we picked up, 3 accounts. Big accounts, and that part is awesome. But we ended up losing an account. It's a $72,000 account, and that's a massive, and I've covered this before, doing homes versus doing commercial stuff. And this is something really important, if you want to get into the condo game, is we lost a $72,000 a year account. That's, guys, I don't even have to tell you, that's massive, man. And we lost the account, and it really pisses me off, because we lost the account not because of lawn maintenance, not because of our shrub work, not because of our mowing, edging, or any of that stuff. We lost the account because of the irrigation system. So, we do irrigation, and I sub out a lot of the big heavy stuff. But this particular system has never been managed well, even by massive, the biggest companies there are have been on this property, and they had them, and they never did a really good job with it. So I thought that I had a plan, and the plan just ended up really not sufficing them. I thought it was a pretty good plan, but in the end, they just weren't happy with it. This place has like 20, I think 18 on the buildings, 2 on the small. This place has 20 timers, man. 20 clocks. 20! I do a couple of properties that are the same size, a couple that are bigger, with 2 clocks at the most, okay? So if you're not familiar with irrigation, you have massive properties, 2 clocks should be suffice. I can see 4 clocks on a massive, huge property, associations, but 20 clocks, guys, 20 clocks running 20 different programs, 20 different everything. You know what I'm saying? I think there was somewhere in the field of 4,500 heads on this property, over 4,000 heads on this property. Insane, dude. I've never seen anything like it. The developer really chopped this thing up. It was laziness. They just didn't feel like running wires and here and there and punching here. So all they did was they got to a point, throw a clock up here, we'll just keep going. It's unreal. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They know it's ridiculous. Everybody knows it's ridiculous, but it's not their problem. Their problem, the thing is, it's on the landscaper. Okay, I'm not making excuses, guys, because it's on the landscaper to be able to say, I can take care of this problem and handle it. Now, we were doing a really good job, and then we had some parts where it kind of, slummed down as far as staying on top of it. The irrigation portion, it's just so massive. And I can admit when, hey, we need to do a better job on maintaining the irrigation system. It just got to a point, man, where they just weren't happy with their water bills and all that stuff, and they need to have all these, they're literally like zones that'll overlap each other, and the place is clay-based, so it just stays saturated. It's always wet. It's a nightmare. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare irrigation system. I've never seen anything like it. I don't ever want to see anything like it again. But I even suggested having a separate irrigation company come in, because somebody needs to live on that irrigation system. They need to that's the guy that's driving the truck. They need to stay and live on that irrigation system. They need to live there. Going in there once a month to do 1/3 of the property at a time on this place just turned out to not be enough. It is on other properties we can do half or the whole property once a month. This place, the timers were so spread. There were so many timers that you can't get it all done in one day. It is literally impossible. We've tried with 3 dudes going through a half of the irrigation system in a whole day, and it doesn't work. It's just too intense of an irrigation system, okay? For what they need, from what they needed from us. So we agreed to split it up and hire a separate irrigation system. In the end, they decided not, and they just wanted to have somebody they felt that came in to look at it, said that they could handle it. They decided to give them the entire property. I was pretty bummed about that. I was pretty upset they said that they felt really bad and all that stuff. But in the end, our maintenance was great, and we took that place over and it was a mess, dude. There weren't edge lines, like nothing. We took that place over and turned it over. People still will tell you there that it's the nicest they've ever seen it in the 8 years or 10 years that they've lived there. But apparently that's not enough. So we lost the property because the irrigation system, they feel, is above our capacity. And I'm not going to say it's above our capacity, but it's above our capacity in the realm, in the expectation that they have, you know. I had to say, listen, it's that you need somebody to be there 3 or 4 days a week every month, you know what I mean, to even get this done. It was just disagreements and all that stuff, and I had to forfeit and go, well, I'm just telling you, like, I'm not equipped to have a guy there 3 or 4 days a week and, you know, and not pay the dude for it. You know what I'm saying? I can't include all that stuff. So we ended up parting ways. But it was just pretty, I'm going to say it sucked, man. That's a huge account. And it's not even that, it'd be one thing if I hated the place or didn't like the people there. I'd be like, dude, good riddance. I'll go find another one. Because that's what you can do. You just go find another one. But still, look, I didn't want to, like, you know, took one step forward and kind of taken a step back. So now we're in the same spot, the same, you know, amount of, you know, time and guys and all that stuff. So that's good. Don't have to hire more people and everything right now, which we were planning on doing, because this other property has a 66-acre property that they're going to want us to take over. But anyways, it would have been a worse scenario if we lost this property and didn't have anything to replace it. That would be really detrimental. $72,000 a year, dude. That's a lot of money to just have cut off like that. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money, man. Oh my God, it's so much money. But like I said, we replaced it, already had it replaced anyways. But it's just going to keep us where we're at, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, you know, because it is difficult when you switch over and do a partially more full-time, you know, job on another truck and all that stuff, but you don't have just enough capital to float everything. It becomes a sticky thing. So maybe it's for the best, you know what I'm saying? So maybe we lost that account because we got this other one. It's going to be easier on this other one to deal with versus this one. Just not ready to take the next level of expansion yet. I am, but I'm just saying, maybe the universe thinks something different. I don't know. But what I can tell you I learned from it is, maintenance-wise and irrigation-wise, on properties like this, well, that particular property, I think that probably what I could have done was been more forthcoming a lot earlier in the game with the irrigation's necessities, you know what I'm saying? And suggested maybe a year ago, let's bring another irrigation company in here, separate the bill. They take care of the irrigation system because it's just too much, you know what I'm saying? It's too much. You need a full-time guy here. And then we'll just keep doing the maintenance thing. But I think in the end, they were just so exhausted with all the irrigation stuff that they're just like, they do a great job. And they even told us, like, your lawn maintenance part is amazing, but the irrigation is such a huge deal here. We just want to find one company to do it all. So that's what they ended up doing. Honestly, and it's not to be down or whatever on anyone. Dude, they've had the 4 or 5 of the largest companies in the nation, in the state, and in the city on that property. Our lawn maintenance has surpassed every single one of them. But in the end, it wasn't enough. They made a decision. We have to respect it. We're parting on good terms. We're going to do a really good job. I honestly feel like they're going to end up calling us back on the maintenance. And if they do, we'll take it back. But we'll separate and have nothing to do with the irrigation system. But yeah, guys, so my advice is when you go on a property, even if, okay, because we went into this property having no idea that irrigation was going to be this just wild, intense, and crazy. And even if you don't, the moment that you start understanding it, that it's way more than you thought it was going to be, say you take over a property and it's way more intense than you thought it was going to be, it's harder than you thought it was going to be. There is a fine line between, you know, talking to the customer, kind of freaking them out. Hey man, we took this on and it's more than we thought it was going to be. You got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll just think you can't handle it. But in a situation like this, I should have said, hey, blank, this irrigation system, you already know it's jacked up. It's crazy. I thought that we could handle it to meet your needs on it. what do you think about us just keeping the, you know, the lawn maintenance that you're happy with, and maybe let's figure out, put our heads together, find another irrigation company and let them handle this full time. I think if we would have handled that early on, I don't think I'd be having this conversation now. So that's my mistake. My mistake is not realizing that I should have had a conversation earlier about something that they made very clear was very important to them. You know what I'm saying? On this particular property, they already knew it was jacked up and all that stuff. I should have come to them. I shouldn't have had to have them come to me about it. And that's my fault, and that's my mistake, man. But we all make mistakes. We learn and we grow from it. We replaced it. That's a good thing. We're just going to learn from it. So the new properties we're on, there's some things that I've never had to do before that we're doing on these new properties as far as administrative stuff goes. And that's a cool thing, because I'm learning it's just making me personally a more broad, broad owner of a landscape business. You know, the more challenges, the more things that I find. Leah and I really have learned a lot this year. And we've learned a lot of things we could have done better, we could have done differently. And we could have changed to make things smoother. But not to say we had a bad year, because we had a lot of positivity. We did a really good job on things. We grew the business. We grew relationships. But the challenges were very significant this year, very significant. Hoping to have a much better year next year. We're going to do some things a lot different. I'm not going to act like people, oh, we're going to change everything in 2019. No, we're not. We're doing a good job and it's working. But there are some things that we learned this year that we've adopted and that we're going to continue to make better and improve on. So, again, replacing that account was a big deal. I'm glad that we did. That makes me feel better. But it just, like I said, step forward, and with losing that, it's a step back right where we were, you know what I mean, before we picked up this other account. So I was looking forward to, picking up this other account and adding some more guys and all that stuff. Anyways, it's gone. It is what it is. And now I have to go shop for a truck. Oh, I did find, or Leah found, a guy that's got a 2002 Duramax, and he's replaced the glow plugs, he's replaced all kinds of crap, all kinds of stuff. So that's promising, man. I might look, because I'm a I love Duramax. So it's an older truck, but that will definitely get me by for the next year until I buy my truck. So that'll get me by, man. So I'm gonna go look at that. I'm gonna look at some F-150s and some Dodges. Otherwise, man, there's just not a Chevy anywhere near that I can find that's in that price range, $5 to $7 grand, man. Isn't that crazy? I mean, do I agree with it? No, I don't think that, the resale should be that ridiculous on Chevys, but, it is what it is. Yeah. All right, guys. Anyways, I hope that the year was awesome for all of you guys. And if it wasn't, I hope that you at least learn from it, because it's not always going to end on some awesome, happy, positive note. Sometimes it's going to end on a flat note. You know what I'm saying? But just learn from it and just make yourself better. That's what we're doing. Like I said, it's detrimental to lose these accounts when you're doing this type of work. It's detrimental to lose it. But because we persevere, we make good relationships, we do our job, we were able to pick up other accounts. And that's our saving grace right there, So here's the 2018 being over and ending on as positive a note as you can, and to next year, being even better. All right, guys, peace out.